there's a YC-backed company called Overlap. If you go to joinoverlap.com, and I know we like talking about tools on this podcast, so this is a recent episode I did with Seth Godin. So Seth Godin, the best-selling marketing author, and we did this in person. And the cool thing is I just put in my YouTube URL and it found the right moments and it came up with a good headline, right, for each one. So you can see here's like a 3 to 5 minute clip or so that now can be repurposed for LinkedIn, for X, for Threads, and or maybe even like a shorter form clip channel for YouTube. So we're getting a lot more mileage out of our long form content now, right? So we're doing the same thing with our marketing school content, because Neil and I, like, we're recording tomorrow in person. It might be 75 minutes or so, and then we want to find the right moments there that we can go out there and post. But we're just looking for more at bats with our content, right? Because for example, this piece over here, it's a collaboration with HubSpot and the Marketing School podcast, and what we want to do is we want to get the most mileage from this as well. And so this has been great, and I don't think it costs a lot of money. There's like a free version, and it'll also chop up 16:9 versions and 9:16 versions that you can put for social or short form. That's great. The other thing I'll call out here is last weekend I was playing around with a tool called napkin.ai, and what it does is it'll take your written content. You can see where my cursor is right now, and I just put in my written content, and then it will come up with illustration concepts, right? So achieving personal excellence, right? It goes like, I talked about like waking up early, learning all day, right? Working on hard things, right? It's like more, inspirational, written piece of content. And so I can scroll through these. There's like a ladder over here. There's a plant over here. So I'm not saying this is necessarily the best illustration here, but at least it gives me an outline. At least it gives me a concept to work with, or at least it gives designers something to work with, right? So this just came out recently and it's free right now, I believe. So again, it's napkin.ai, and I have no stake in any of these companies. So joinoverlap.com, napkin.ai. And the last thing I'll show you over here is bolt.new. So I've talked about Replit, I've talked about Cursor, you probably heard about it on this podcast already, but bolt.new is even easier for me as a marketer to create front ends for my developers, and it basically will get me 50, 60, 70% there, and I can hand off a concept here. So I kind of showed this to Neil, but I never really showed him like a illustration of it, right? I just say, hey, look, why don't you help me, bolt.new, it's going to help me code up a front end. I said, how about you help create a YouTube content idea generator for me? So I want you to come up with the best packaging for the headlines, the thumbnails, right? Give me 5 for each video, and allow me to either upload a audio file or a video file, or allow me to insert a YouTube link. And basically this is the front end that it gave me, right? And actually this can be fully functional if I just mess around with this more. And so I think it helps someone like me save a lot of time. It helps someone like Neil save a lot of time. I think it's going to help marketers save a lot of time. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. I just wanted to share with you some things that I'm excited about for the future. But go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, so I posted something on Twitter today, and we found some interesting stats. We analyzed a little bit more than 70,000 keywords, and we saw an interesting trend in which over time, when you're looking at Google's index, they're ranking more short and short form videos. So in 2020, 96.4% of the videos we found on page 1 of Google were long form. Fast forward to today, 69.8% are long form and 30.2% are short form videos. Short form videos being a minute or under, long form being over a minute. But here's what's interesting. When we look at long form videos and short form videos, short form, when we did an analysis of a group and we actually had them watch both short form and long form videos, they were able to skip the ones that weren't interesting to them. The next day, when we actually asked them questions related to the short form videos and the long form videos, people weren't really retaining anything related to the short form videos. They were retaining information from the long form videos. What we found is people are consuming short form content, and it's a great way to get views and traffic and followers, but it's a terrible way to drive conversions. You're going to start seeing in the future, everyone's been consuming short form videos, but more people, including people like Mr. Beast, are focusing on more long form videos because it's actually what's driving conversions. Getting all these eyeballs with no conversions doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's like companies saying, hey, my SEO traffic has boomed. Well, if your SEO traffic has boomed, but you didn't see $1 more in sales, who really cares at the end of the day? All that matters is, are you driving more revenue or are you not? Because if you're not, you're just wasting time and resources and you can reallocate. The other thing, and Eric and I have talked about this, is you have no choice but to be omni-channel today. See, back in the day, Facebook grew through the email invite flow. Hey, your friend is inviting you to join Facebook. Dropbox grew through, hey, share on the social web and you'll get more free storage space on Dropbox. That doesn't work today. Any of those channels, yes, can have some impact to your marketing, but they're all competitive. Now, most companies today use multi-channel marketing. That means they're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Google, email. But the difference between omni-channel and multi-channel is an important nuance. In omni-channel, you're actually leveraging the learnings from each of the channels and having the channels work together to accomplish your goals or your KPIs versus each of the channels being independent. And when you leverage omni-channel marketing, we're typically seeing the ROI per channel go up by at least 10%. And a great example of this is we were at Expedia, and when I was there in Expedia Canada, they ran an interesting study because Expedia has a lot of properties like hotels.com. They used to own TripAdvisor before they spun it out. Same with Trivago, Travelocity, the list goes on and on. And what Expedia found is when they took an omni-channel approach, leveraged multiple channels, working towards the same goals, they saw a lift of a little bit more than 10% for all the channels, right? And that's the channels working well together. More businesses are not going to have a choice but to do that. The other big trend that you're seeing is there's more and more data privacy issues, and everyone in an organization will raise their hand saying, yeah, we use analytics. But when you actually look at how many people are logging into the analytics solutions each day, and then if you dive a bit deeper, how many people are actually making changes based on what they're seeing that's actionable to help improve the bottom line of a business, very few people are really using analytics in the correct way. Not only is it important to set up a data and analytics team, but with AI, if you don't have the budgets, it can not only help you analyze your data in real time, it can give you actionable insights, and a human can choose either to take action on it or not. But it can then make your data more actionable. So then that way people are using AI to improve their bottom line versus a lot of people in an organization, especially in marketing, be like, yeah, we use AI. Look at all these cool things we've done. Fast forward a quarter, even a year. All right, you've used all this stuff. What's the increase in revenue? What's the increase in profit? Very few people have great responses based on the tools that they're using when it comes to AI. And not enough people are actually focusing on improving the bottom line with these tools. And I think that's very important. Doing all this great work, but not seeing any improvements on the real numbers that impact a business is useless at the end of the day.
All right, so I wanted to take a second to tell you about the Agency Owners Association. So this is a agency peer group ran by my podcast co-host Neil Patel and myself, Eric Siu, and these were 9 and 8 figure agency owners respectively. And what I will say is at the end of the day, you want to learn from people that have been there, done that. If you want to grow your agency to 7 figures, 8 figures and beyond, this is the group for you. And we bring in other agency owners to speak as well. And it's a great peer group where you can help each other out. And you're going to learn how to acquire more clients. You're going to learn how to take yourself out of the day-to-day and to build the business of your dreams. And the cool thing, till November 30th, we are holding a special price, and you can apply at marketingschool.io/agency. And the great thing about it as well, if you try to get into group, there's a 7-day free trial, right? So once November 30th hits, we're going to increase the price by $200 per month. So right now you're getting it at the lowest price possible. So go to marketingschool.io/agency to learn more, and we'll see you inside. I think the best way to close this off is if you look at Accenture is the best example here, right? Like how much did they drive 900 million in revenue over a quarter? Did they invest 900 million and they got like 1.3 billion or something over a quarter? It's some big number, but they're reaping the rewards of generative AI. So they're actually tying their work in with business results at the end of the day. I think that's a good point, right? Yep. You can use all the stuff in the world, but how is it impacting your business? Otherwise, because I'll see people at my company that will just, I'm doing it's a lot of activity, right? But you can't mistake activity for progress at the end of the day. And I think a lot, I made this report, I adjusted this process over here. Okay, but how did that actually impact my bottom line? That's what matters.
And it must have been they invested 900 million because they do around 16-ish billion. I just looked it up per quarter in revenue.
Yeah, so it says, revenue for the fiscal year 2024 was 900 million, which is triple the amount recorded in 2023. No. Gen AI bookings for the year were 3 billion. There you go, 3 billion.
No, yeah. Accenture globally does around $64 billion a year in revenue.
Yep. So Gen AI bookings for the year 3 billion. That's and if it's growing quickly, then it's going to be big. It's already big.
Yeah, and same with McKinsey and Accenture and Deloitte and all these guys. A lot of their growth is coming from investing in AI, but in the right places, because a lot of these guys are business consultants that are helping organizations and C-levels see a ROI on their dollars.
Yep. All right. So I think that's a great place to close off. We appreciate his collaboration with the Marketing Against the Grain podcast, and appreciate getting to hang out with Kip for a little bit. And I think that's a great way to close off. So if you want to find Neil online, just find him. It's Neil Patel on everything. If you want to find me, it's at EricOSIU on the Twitters or the Instagrams. But that being said, great seeing you all, and hopefully we'll come hang out again soon.